All right. Hi, friends. It looks like we're live, but it always takes a minute to settle in here. So now it's just the race to see what wins, the laptop or the phone. Still not there. Oh,
Laptop on me is going.
laptop for me.
Laptop one.
Laptop won today. Come on, phone.
I say the phone's really slow.
It is. I wonder if I need to refresh it.
Doing the
Look
same
at that.
thing.
There we
Ah,
are.
there it is. Yep, same.
Okay.
Phone was not with it today.
It was not. Hi, friends. Welcome to our January sneak peek combined live with both me and Heather.
Finally, a week late. I know we talked all about it last week, and then we had a last minute glitch that meant we had to push the release out, and so we had to kind of push it off. So
Absolutely. So we're a little bit week later. You don't have to wait as long, so it's a little bit less of a tease. Um,
yeah,
so
nobody can get
the
mad at
release,
us.
yeah, less time to be mad at us for having to wait. So all of the products that we are featuring today will go live on Friday at 7 a.m. Central Time. So
But
that
like
will
3 days.
be, yeah, like 3 days.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
And it's a good release, you guys. This is like kind of like the biggest, newest, freshest one I
Yeah,
feel like we've had in a while. So
absolutely. I mean, we did release press plates in December, which was a brand new product.
true.
Um, but there
But
is
as
a
far
new
as like
concept
normal
Heather and
stuff.
I are going to showcase for you today. That's really exciting. And then in general, it's just kind of January is always a little bit bigger of a release. So it feels like there is um,
Here.
more stuff in it. And yeah, so it's pretty exciting.
It's big enough that we're not both using the same product today. We're stretching out a little
Yep.
and using two different sets. So you get a double sneak peek. Not only do you get Leah and I together, you get two different, plus whatever else we end up pulling up. You know, sometimes you get little bonus sneak peeks when we need a sentiment or whatever. So
Absolutely. So. All right, so kind of in before we get going, in just our normal fashion, we do give away a prize in every single live, but when it's a sneak peek live, it tends to be a little bit more substantial.
a little bit.
But we're changing it up. We're gonna change it up throughout the year, so you're gonna have to join us each time to see what we offer up. So today we've posted this everywhere. We're offering up $100 gift card code, so which could make a huge dent in your order on Friday, by the way.
Yes,
So
for sure.
all you have to do is what you're doing right now. Chat with us in the live chat. Heather and I are both here, so there's not going to be anybody moderating underneath the Pinkfresh Studio name today. So we'll do our best to answer your questions, but we probably will miss some things. Keep that in
Yeah.
mind, but feel free, if you know the answer to someone's question, feel free to answer it.
There's a slight chance that Kinnery might pop in under the pink fresh. She was going to bed
Maybe.
because it's late in
Yeah.
her time zone, but sometimes she wakes up and can't sleep. And then,
Yeah.
so if you suddenly see it show up on there, we're not liars. We just didn't know she was going to
That's
wake
just
back up
gonna
and do
read, and we didn't know she was coming.
it. How many
Do you
new
want to share?
items Connie wants?
Oh, mm,
I don't remember. I mean, like a lot. I don't remember exactly. There's quite a
I don't
few.
remember.
There's a
I don't
good
know
like,
exactly off the top of it. This whole
I
stack
know,
right here. That's our
plus
entire
what you already
January
have pulled
release,
out that we're
plus
using.
a few things I already have pulled out.
Yeah, quite a
I'm gonna
few.
grab a
Okay,
drink of water. Do you want to say the additional way that they
I
can
will.
win? Thank you.
Yes. So you already said I was zoning out now, looking at reading the
Chatting,
comments, but you did, huh? Chatting. Okay.
chatting in the
All
live
right.
chat.
So just so I make sure I don't cover the same thing she did already. So the other way you can win is by sharing this video. So you can grab a link somewhere on this page, whether just from the web page or from down underneath, there's a little share button, and you can just share it in a message to a friend. If you have a crafty friend, you want to say, hey, come craft live with me or watch this, or in your on your own social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever there. Or if you're part of a crafty group and you know that it's allowed in the rules, just double check that. You can post that there. And then back to the comments here and just let us know you shared it. Otherwise, we don't know that you shared it, but that will count as another entry. And then, of
Absolutely. I'm
course,
going
the
to
thumbs
answer the
up button.
question here real quick. Where did it
Yep, go
go?
for it.
Um, Now I missed who said it, but someone asked how many new press plates are in this release. There are
Mm.
no press plates in this release. Wait, you'll be on the lookout in February. We'll have more press plates, but this release is all stamps, stencils, dies, and hot foil plates.
Yep, exactly. And then I was just starting to say about the thumbs up button. Not necessarily an entry, but we love if you hit that thumbs up button when you're watching. That just helps our reach so more people can find us both now while we're live and also on the replay later so they can see the new release that we're excited about. So
Absolutely. And Stephanie, there are no new ink colors. We just released 24 ink colors, and so we now have a total of 72, which is a lot. So we're kind of good with ink colors, really.
yeah.
We've got a pretty well-defined rainbow of colors, so no new inks for now.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Well, we have a lot to do. We probably should get, oh, one other thing that I forgot to mention. This is all new product that we're sneak peeking, so we don't
Yeah.
have it linked. But some of what we're using is older released. Neither of us had time today to get that linked up in advance or ink color. So we'll add those later. We'll just try and kind of leave them out so you can see what we're using. And we'll do our best to watch if you have questions. But if we miss it, you can always rewind and replay. And after the live, we'll add those links in. So if it is available. And then real quick, Marcia, I can't talk this morning about the new liquid watercolor. We don't have a firm release date yet, but we're working behind the scenes as quick as we can to get those out.
Hopefully very
That's good.
soon. All right. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Switch your cameras.
switch cameras.
All
Ta-da!
right.
All right. These might not look like mine. I feel like we need to turn them over to show the other side to give a little bit
There
of an
we
idea.
go.
All right.
So
Do you want to tell what's new about these?
are introducing a new stencil and die combo that we are coming out with for the first time. So we have lots of standalone stencils and we have lots of ones that have dies, but this concept is really different from what we've introduced in the past. So we wanted to be able to create like these lovely, beautiful layered florals, but we wanted you to also be able to use all of your shades of ink for them. So what we've introduced are these stencils with these coordinating dies. Now this is two one-piece die sets in here. So you've got one die that cuts out all of the flowers and then another die that cuts out all of the greenery. And then you can just layer your flowers to your heart's content. Now, of course, there is the examples on the back that show you how to put them together, which is nice. On the stencils, you'll see that they kind of tell you which color is which on here. So that's kind of fun. And it's just this new concept. You can use the dies with just colored cardstock, but the cool thing about them is being able, when you stencil them first, you can use them with all of your ink colors and then die cut afterwards. And so then it's not required to have this huge stash of colored cardstock on hand because you can just customize them by ink blending.
And then
if
you can
look
add
at the
that gradation
dies,
and stuff too.
exactly. And then if you look at in the dies, we've added a ton of detail to them. So you're going to have these fantastic little elements like within the actual flowers that are giving like detail and texture and dimension to them. So it's a really cool concept. So Heather and I are using two different sets today.
Yeah. Stephanie pointed out she loves the greenery and flowers separate. And I love that too, because if you just want to use the flowers on that set. Now my set is a little more, when we get into it, you'll probably see. Mine has a little more one piece, like it makes these swigs and you layer them together. You can still use the flowers on their own, but mine is a little more of a cohesive set that makes these two pretty swigs. So, but yeah, it is fun having them totally separate.
The cool thing about Heather's though is even if you create them in their swags, you can actually trim them apart and then
That is true.
make them a little bit. If you wanted to use maybe only a portion of the cluster, you could, carefully trim the areas and you can move stuff around. So you'd still have some versatility and different ways that you can use them.
Okay, I should have done this. So Connie asked what they will be called. The set I'm using is called Stylized Florals.
And the set I am using is called Sweet Blossoms.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she
So
means like
get started.
I don't know if she means like, are you going to call them a specific name? And I don't think we have like a product name for them. They're just stencils and dies. But the concept is what, we're just introducing this new concept. I don't think we're naming the concept by any means.
That's correct. Yep.
All right.
I love Audrey said she loves floral dies, but it's such a pain to run all the pieces through the die cut machine. So that's part of the fun here. Okay.
That is also kind of the other aspect of this is a little bit easier than having to, cut all of the little tiny dies. You've got it all in the one piece. And so it all cuts out for you and you still get the multicolors because you're using them with the stencils. So it is really cool.
You see what I pulled out, Leah? I'm going to use it for the first time for this
That is
today.
awesome. My stencils are too big for a grip mat, so I gotta go old school. I love it
Oh,
though.
that's funny. Okay. I was like, I need to, while you were talking, I ran and like pulled it out of my thing so I could give it a try and we'll
I
see how it
even
goes.
washed it and got it all ready, and then I'm like, I can't even use it.
Oh, bummer.
I
Well, I will
know.
use it for you. You're welcome.
Thank you. You're the best.
I know. I know. All right. So mine, I think Leah's is the same. There's going to be two different, one for the floral, one for the greenery,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
Yep. So we
So I
both
am
have,
just getting this set up because I'm gonna ink blend my greenery upside down. I know it's gonna probably look a little weird. But it's the easiest way for you to see it on screen because I have stuff up here that gets in the way of my stencil. So I am going to ink blend my greenery upside down. Um, so just keep that in mind if you're like, Leah, what are you doing?
Kathy asked if I said I'm going to love it. I have no doubts I'm going to love it. It's just been more of a matter of laziness that I haven't gotten it out sooner. So
It's fantastic. I did want to point
yeah.
out on my stencil, if I can find some glare, is they are labeled for what they are. So we've got foliage one. There's technically only one layer of foliage on here.
Yeah.
This kind of comes a little bit more into play with the floral. So you have floral one on my first stencil, and then on my other two, they're layered floral two and floral three. I think Heather's are, might be the same. I'm not sure on that.
Mine says foliage and then all of my florals are on one stencil. There's just like a little sketch divide line between the middle. So
Yeah,
and you
that's
just
right. I haven't used
we'll
that
just
one
slightly
yet.
mask. Yep. All right. I think you have more stencil layers than I do. Mine is a little, so I'm gonna go slower and just focus on adding shading and playing with
Sure,
that. So
absolutely. Okay,
because
I'm
we've
just
got
getting my
time.
stencil lined up here. This one is less worrisome because I really only have to ink one the one layer. So, okay. I am going to start with Slumber, and I'm going to do bigger brushes for this just because there is quite a bit of area to blend in. So I'm going to start blending my foliage in Slumber. Yes, I'm doing blue foliage, and if you wanted to recreate this card and blue foliage isn't your thing, you could just switch to green. Not a big deal, but I'm a big fan of doing different color foliage. So
Okay.
that is what I'm going to start with.
And I'm gonna use my small brushes because that'll help slow me down so that we keep pace a little bit better.
Now, something you'll notice on these is there are little triangles that ink blend on each of the layers, at least for
Oh, yes.
me. Does it for you as
Yep.
well?
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely. There is.
And so the reason why we put these little triangles in there is they help you line up the one piece die so that everything will be correct when you go to cut it out.
Yep, that was part of our testing and playing as we noticed
Yep.
it was a little hard with all the cut lines in there to get them to line up right. And so
All right. So I'm going to come in though. I am not quite done. Oops, I kind of bent that stencil. Whoosh. I'm going to come in with some Slumber, and I'm going to add a little bit of gradation to these. There we go. Oh, thanks. Bruce Gordon, which I know that your name is not Bruce. Like it just it my brain loses it when it comes to what people's names are during a live. Said that she likes the different color greenery. So thank you. I appreciate that. I do too.
it's always fun.
Hi, Cheryl. See, Cheryl SB joined us.
Oh, nice. Welcome.
All right. I'm feeling like I'm good with that blend for my greenery.
Okay. And I'm going to keep going because I've
want to
got
call that.
to do.
All right. I'm just going to wipe the stencil down so I don't accidentally get blue all over my hands. And then I'm just going to grab them out. So they look kind of plain right now, but when we die cut them out with the die and the die adds all of those little detail layers in there, they're gonna look fantastic. So trust the process when you start with these because you're gonna look at them when they're initially ink blending and be like, I'm not so sure about
What
this.
did I do?
But once we have the details in, it's gonna be fantastic. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and switch my panel out since I have more stencil layers to do than Heather does.
Yep, I'm taking my time.
All right, so now we're gonna switch it. We're gonna put the stencil back up right this time. I'm just using the alignment guides in each corner for my A2 panel. Friends.
And my green brush was getting a little goopy, so I'm cleaning it for
Gotcha.
next time.
'Cause I think someone asked what brand my bigger brushes are. There are just a lot of different brands. I've got Tailored Expression, I have Simon, I have Picket Fence. I have just kind of a selection of bigger brushes that I use. So, and then Heather, of course, is using ours. And when I go to add in more gradation onto mine, I'll grab our smaller ones too. But I just have some bigger areas to cover on mine. And so I want to make sure that it doesn't take me, 2 hours to ink blend a set of flowers.
Remembering what Leah said. Ah, there we go. Healed off
I am
nicely. Okay, I just have
starting.
my foliage done. Look at all that
Oh,
gradation.
perfect. Those are so pretty.
Pretty.
I love the gradation that you achieved in there. So I am
Kinda
blending
went
my first layer of flowers
over
up with
that.
Cherry Blossom.
Okay. And you're right, as expected, I like the grip mat.
Isn't it awesome? I'm a little sad that
The
I really
only
couldn't use
thing
it today.
the only thing for me is I like turning stuff, so it's a little bit messing with me that I'm kind of stuck and I
Oh,
can't. So
yeah.
I might not always use it, but I do like it.
Yeah, and I don't mind. I'm not a turner, so
Yeah.
it does not bother me if it doesn't turn.
Yep.
All right, so now I know that on these flowers, I'm going to come into these little bell flowers here, and I'm actually going to blend a little bit of candy violet into them. Just give them
I'm
a little
going really,
gradation.
mine is divided into grids. I showed that a little bit ago. And I'm just doing my cheap masking that I don't have to spend a lot of money on and using Post-it notes because it'll work really great in those spots. So
Really cool.
very inexpensive and easy.
Absolutely. And I'm not worried if I get a little candy violet in an area I don't want it. I'm not super worried about it. I just wanted to add a little bit of interest to these cute little bell flowers here. I don't know what they're called in real life, so I'm just calling them bell flowers.
I like that. Someone asked about release date. It is Friday. I think just confirming a few people have already answered that, but
Oh yeah,
that
yep.
is correct.
Release date is Friday.
All right.
And I'm just going to add a little bit more. I'm just going to put a little candy violet gradation here and there. Nothing too major, but just to make these have a little bit more interest to them.
I kind of wanted to go a little bit more bold on my colors and really make them pop, kind of more the feel of colored cardstock. So but you can go as soft as you want on these and they're going to be
You'll
really
notice
pretty.
I'm kind of doing more of a softer tone. So I'm going for more of an ink blended look of a flower versus colored cardstock. So lots
Yep.
of really versatile options with these stencils. We'll come back to candy violet on mine, but time to clean this stencil off and we're gonna blend in the next set of flowers. Right, so we've got our reveal here. They look like pretty basic, simple flowers, right? But as I mentioned earlier, trust the process because once we cut it with the die, these are really going to come to life.
This is definitely one where the stencils aren't really just fun on their own, but
Yep.
combined with the die is really where.
You definitely need the die for sure. That's where all of the life comes in on these ones.
I'm just
All
checking
right.
comments.
I am lining up my Floral 2, which is the top half of stencil number 2. And it's just more flowers. And I'm going to color all of these in begonia.
A couple questions real quick. Well, I'm just going to kind of keep stalling since I'm working ahead. Cindy asked about watercolor paper coming out on Friday. No, we're planning to release that with our liquid watercolors. We just ran into some glitches that we're working out. So not a firm release date, but hopefully soon.
Yep.
And then Carla asked if Pinkfresh has ever considered coming out with acrylic markers. I don't think that's ever been anything we've talked about. So I don't think there's any plans for that. And then Vicky wanted to know about press plates and foil plates being the same. I think we are moving because press plates foil so well, we're moving
Yep.
more towards that as a multi-purpose. So there will be moving forward coordinating stencils and all of that. So to
Yes.
answer her question
So,
there.
yeah. So I think you'll notice as we continue with our releases this year, there will be more press plates because we have found that we can foil with them. So if a product can be dual purpose like that, we're going to lean towards that because we want your product to have as much versatility as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. I have got my
Okay.
begonia flowers blended in here. I have just one more layer left to do.
Okay, I better speed up now because I'm actually probably going to get behind here if I don't.
Oh, so now this one, I actually cannot do it upside down. So I'm going to have to move stuff out of the way. I didn't think about that when I was doing the greenery. Like, I'm going to have to move stuff because this one has to stay in the right place or it won't match with the die.
Someone asked about how we decide when to use more than one color with a stencil layer. It is absolutely like just play with
100%
it because
preference.
sometimes it
Yeah.
works and sometimes, I mean, it pretty much always works. It's just you don't necessarily have to, I guess, would be the.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's 100% preference for the most part. And then, yeah, and I think, and sometimes it's just making sure that you're choosing colors that go together.
Yeah, there's
Is
that too.
probably the biggest thing. Right, for my final layer, I'm coming back to Candy Violet, which I kind of dual toned in that first layer of flowers.
And just in case anyone's joining late, if you see these funny little triangles on our design, those are just for lining up the die when you get to that part. It's kind of a important part that makes it a lot easier. Those aren't even going to die cut. There's just little windows to match those up. So
Yeah.
I just wanted
Now I'm
to.
going to blend a little heavier on these circular ones because I know that those are centers. And so I want those to be a little deeper toned than my other ones. I'm going to come in with a smaller brush and just add a little additional gradation in here. There we go.
And I'm just kind of deepening each side so that I'm getting a good two-tone. I'm excited to see how this works when it comes out.
Me too. I'm in full disclosure, everyone. This is the first time I've actually used one of these sets. We were waiting on a fixed die to come in. And so I didn't really get around to them when I was creating initial samples. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. I hope it turns out. I think it
I'd
will.
say I just tested them early
I think
on.
I've picked good enough complementary colors. It should be okay.
We should be fine.
Now, here is another thing to think about. When you get them all, once you've ink blended them initially with the stencil and you get them all die cut, you can always put them on like a grip mat and come back in with more ink. If like you look at it and realize like, oh, I didn't get enough gradation there, or like this looks a little funky, it could use a little more ink. Put them on a grip mat, grab your inks and go back in and do it. Like you absolutely still have that capability.
And if you don't have a grip
once you
mat,
die cut
throw
them.
like some post-it tape in the back of the negative
Yeah.
of the die and puzzle piece
Yep.
it back in.
Exactly. Yep, that works
That's
as
it.
well. That's a good point because not everybody has a grip mat.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. All right, so I've
Of
got
course,
my
the
two
way Leah
pieces
keeps.
here. Do you want me to wait for you to start die cutting or should I go?
I've still got one more whole color to go. I apparently went
Yeah,
too
I'll just
slow
kind of
trying
wait
to
for you
get
then.
through.
I actually might just slowly put my stuff
But you know what
together.
though? I'm doing my last one though, and there's not a lot to it. So if you want to start die cutting, then everyone can kind of ignore me because I'm just ink blending and they can see like how they line up and stuff too.
Sure, yeah.
And then I can show on mine.
There was a question and now I can't find it. Cindy is asking, I do not have the letterpress, but I can use the letterpress dies on my foil machine. Yes. So we were initially advised, I guess, that if you accidentally foil your better press plates, they won't work for better press anymore. But Heather actually tested it out and she could never get the foil to actually stick.
Funny stories. I was testing it
So,
to see if we
yeah,
could foil it and clean it off with acetate and if it would ruin it so they wouldn't
yeah.
be
So we
able
were testing
to
all of that.
progress.
And they foil beautifully, and and Heather never could get the foil to actually stick to the plate itself. So
And I
we
sat and
feel
did it like 10
confident
times in a row one day.
that it's perfectly safe to foil with your better press plates. So yes, better press plates can absolutely be foiled. So you'll notice
Okay.
there's this little triangle. I'm going to pull it up. There's this little triangle that blended right here, and this little triangle that blended right here. Those are what I am using to line up the die because we made sure that you would see those visibly in full through the die. So you know if you line up those little triangles, the rest of it is going to fall into place and your die will cut correctly.
Now I've got mine. Same thing. Mine looks kind of boring and not that exciting yet. But once we get it, like that.
And the
Connor said,
magic
thanks for
happens
picking
after
one
you
for
do
the
the die
team.
cutting. So often with our products, the magic happens as you reveal each stencil. This concept is actually a little bit different. The stenciling is kind of like, huh. And then you do the die cutting and you go, wow.
Yep. That's really where it happened.
Make sure that
And
looks
Cindy,
like
we were scared to try it too, but Kittery's like, just test it. If you ruin it,
just test
then
it.
we'll get you a new one.
I'll send you a new
So,
one. Yeah.
so I tried to pick one that I wouldn't be sad about having to wait for a replacement,
Like her.
which is hard because I like them all, but it was like, which one do I not
Absolutely.
want to use soon? And all right. And while Leah's die cutting there, I'm getting my same, using those same little triangles. So the two triangles on here, now I've lost them. Oh, one there and one there. Those aren't actually going to die cut, but they help line it up. And then this one, you can really clearly see those triangles on there. Because otherwise, you can see how those dies were closed. There's a lot of room for wiggle and
Error.
error. So that
Yeah,
kind of made them a little more foolproof.
we've actually
All right.
had this concept around for a while, but we had to troubleshoot making
Get
that
it
part
just right.
easier, but making that
Yeah.
part, the die lineup perfect.
I'm
And
going to die
then,
cut one.
okay, so do you see, friends, like this is where the magic happens? Look at the great little detail that the die adds into each of these elements. So you get those fantastic little details in the leaves. It is so fantastic. Something you may notice now that we've cut this out is we actually made sure that the blended area was actually larger than the die, so that if it shifts a little bit, you should still be okay. That was another part of the concept that we wanted to make sure.
Was part
Like,
of the plan.
look at this one. Look at just the detail in the leaves on that. How cool is that, friends?
Mine carefully out of there, and mine's got all those same little fun details that. And then
It's
look at that.
just super fun wow
Nice.
factor
It's
on
kind of
these. So
magical, isn't it?
it is magical, but it's not magical until you use the dice. So
Yep.
when you look
That's
at
when
the
they come
ink
to
blending
life.
first and they kind of just look like blobs, it's like, huh,
What am I doing here?
I'm not sure what to think
I'm
of
gonna,
this.
I'm gonna die cut my flowers real quick.
Okay, I'm gonna line up my flowers. I was spending all the time um oohing and awing over the greenery. I'm gonna go ahead and get my flowers lined up real quick. There. Now I'm gonna run my flowers through real quick.
Okay. All right, and then while she does that, I'll pull mine off and we'll check out these little magical bits here. All those little berry pieces. So there's lots of little bitty pieces, but you can pick and use whichever ones. But look at, especially with that gradation on there, I hope you can kind of see on there all of the fun little details on these. Just gonna hold them up still in there. We pop them all out of the.
Oh, a lot of mine pulled up with the thing, but same, like mine has, look at the fun details that the dyes add to each of the flower elements. It's just fun.
Oh, and I almost missed
Okay.
that little one there. That isn't. Okay, so the only thing not die cut on these would just be those triangles, as you can see that we were talking
Yeah,
about.
so the triangles don't cut out at all.
There's one little tiny spot on this green one though. Don't miss that one because if you're not you, Leah, but if anyone else is
Oh,
using
I'm
this
like
one,
me?
there's a little one there. Almost looked like a triangle, but I was like, wait, no, that's important. That one's supposed to cut out.
Look at how cute the little bellflowers are. I just love them. Oh
So
my goodness.
pretty. Kitty says, no white border, finally.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, got to get all of the little flower pieces off here. And then now we have some assembly to do. So this might become somewhat not
Quiet.
boring. I don't want to say boring, but
We might
um
become quiet.
yeah, yeah,
I
because we're
will
going to be
say
concentrating.
the little embellishment tool that you use for bling and stuff works really good for
Will
these
be
little bits of
super helpful getting these all put
Mhm.
together. I agree.
Also, the
So,
packaging on the back, at least on mine, is going to
yep,
be really fabulous for guidelines. But
this
as you can
it's
see,
same
like
for
you could
me.
still
That's
just
going to be crucial
take
for me
these.
as well.
You could do lots of the flowers and just layer them up. And then some of the leaves even come out separate. So if you wanted a completely different arrangement, there's definitely options. But I'm going to
And I
stick
think
with
I'm gonna
what's
just grab
designed.
like a piece of printer paper to glue things on because I don't want to get glue all over my desk. So
That's a good idea. I'm just going to have to clean glue off because I didn't plan ahead for that, but that's okay.
that's okay.
All
All
right.
right, let me get my glue
That.
together. Amy, I guess it is kind of like a build a flower set in a way. Yeah, like we are
Yeah,
technically building flowers.
true. Let's see.
I think I'm gonna have to clean my glue out. So bear with me, friends, while I work on this for a second. Oh, maybe it's okay.
And I'm trying
Was
to
the
get
pin
this
was
video.
really stuck in there, so I'm not sure what happened there, but we may be okay. All right, so I'm going to start on the cute little bell flowers. So I know I need those three pieces and then
Oh,
this stem. And I think oh, this is going to be so darn cute. Okay, so I'm going to
the
put like
detail.
little dollops of, oopsies, glue here. And so then you just
Good.
attach them to the back of the stem there because I think the stem goes on the top. Yeah, it does. Okay. Little dollop of glue on each flower here.
All right. I think I've got, wait, nope, that one goes.
That.
Ah, there we go. That's what that one does.
Okay. I've got my first little flower stem. Oh, except for that one's not sticking very well.
Okay.
That again.
Now I've got the first. So now I can start putting these flowers together.
All right. So I've got my
Monique,
first little
there's
flower stem.
these do not come with equivalent stamp sets. These are just designed for like that die cut with the detail on there from
Yes.
the floral.
Yep.
So not on
All
these ones,
right.
but we have lots of floral sets with those. So
Yes. I'm going to work on this. I'm just going to go in order of these flowers and I'm going to assemble them all. So I'm just going to grab all of the elements for each one. I think that's how I'm going to work this. And it is, which one is this guy? It's this one. Now something you may notice is we've put little dots, like little balls on the end. We did that to
yeah.
give you something to glue to. Um, so that you had something a little bit more substantial than just a tiny thin little stem. So that's what those little ballpoint tops are.
Yeah. That was something we got them and they were just tiny. And that was part of our testing and process was that's kind of hard to adhere those together. We need something a little
Yes.
more. Sherry says to decide whether she needs these sets or just wants them. That's a
That
good
is for
question to
you to
ask.
decide, friend.
Yep.
We are not going to tell you yes or no on that one. We think they're very fun and beautiful, but that's definitely for you to decide. And you'll notice on this guy, you've got extra room at the top here to adhere your flower on. Like that.
Okay. So pretty.
So fun.
Are the dies numbered for each different flowers? I don't, that would be on your set, Leah. Mine's more comprehensive. I don't think the dies are numbered.
No, the dies aren't numbered. It's just there's one die for the flowers and one die for
And the packaging works really well to be able to figure those out too.
yeah,
So,
and then the packaging you just kind of reference the shapes because all of the shapes, every shape is different. So
and honestly, like the flower at the tops, if you want to mix and match and change them, you totally can do that.
yeah, that's another thing is you don't have to do these exactly the way that they're shown. I am for live, just for education purposes.
Yeah.
But like you could totally change these up. Like if you liked this stem and you wanted to put this flower on it, do it.
Yep.
Because it makes your product more versatile. So
We even have a sample. I know someone on the design team just arranged the florals and then used the stems on that set that Leah's using kind of just to poke out is like, I
yeah,
think they were
and
white,
like
sparkly greenery. The balls
and
just
when
look
they
like little
did that,
berries.
even though there was the little like ballpoint parts, they just kind of look like berries. So even though those weren't really part of the actual design, it didn't change that, like they just looked really cute and berry-like. All right, what goes with
All right.
this one?
Question. How long from conception to release date does it take when testing coming out with new products? You know what? It totally depends on what it is and
Depends.
how easy it works. Some of them, it's really fast. Like Kennery's had an idea before and it's popped out like less than a month, I feel like. But then sometimes
Yeah.
the main thing is we work really hard to make sure that they're perfect. Oh, hey, look at who's on.
Kennery
behind
popped
the
in.
scenes. Knew she might pop on there. We told you it could happen. That's funny.
Okay. We're just building flowers right now, Kennery, so we're chatty.
This is kind of the quiet part where
Yep.
we're focusing on what we're doing here.
And sky is the little center dots here. Other cool things about these, you could even some of like the details, like these little dots. Granted, they ink blend, so you'll have them, but if you wanted to cut them from like a glitter paper or something like that, you could do little accents with some of the more detail areas. So lots of fun stuff, lots of fun ways to use these. All right, I think
Sure.
this
I'm going to
guy.
point out real quick these little purple flowers that I'm putting on. They have a little hole in the middle that you can punch out so you can see the green underneath. I'm not doing that for mainly the reason I'm going to just put a jewel or something on top of there anyway. So I didn't want to fiddle with popping it out if I didn't have to. So just explaining that one in case anyone's like, why are those so solid? It was on purpose.
Right. This one I maybe should have thought about doing the flowers in different colors, but I didn't. So they're going to be one color and that's okay. It still is really pretty. Actually, is really cute like that. All right, chucking right along here. Let's see, where am I at? I think I'm on this
Look at
guy.
this. I've got one of my little floral
Oh,
swags.
that's so
together.
cute.
Here, I'm going to set it on white cardstock because I feel like it doesn't show it well in my hand. Look
That's so
at that.
cute.
So bright and happy. I love it.
All right, so this one is this shape
Oh,
guy
actually,
here.
that's not quite done. Still got this to tuck in there.
Oh, you got a little leaf to stick in there.
Yep, I forgot that there's the leaf layers on there too.
Okay, so this one,
Yep.
you put the middle piece in first, just this guy. And then I think you put this outer layer. Yep, okay, perfect. I'm gonna kind of fluff it, give it just a little bit of dimension.
I had to do the same. We can't resist, can we?
Oh, I'm gonna push that guy down. There we go. Okay.
There we go. Now that's done. Let me show that again now with the little leafy details that go on top.
This is so cute. Oh my goodness.
Kind
Okay.
of fun.
Yes, and I love how this I love how the stem looks on this one. Like, look at how fun that is.
Ooh, that looks like a tulip stem and almost like kind of like an open
Yeah,
tulip up there if you get the
yep,
colors, depending on
it
how you
really
did it.
does. Okay, let's grab this guy. And I think that's this one and this one. All right. I just love the little details that the dyes add into these flowers. It's so cute. And can I just say something to be said about the fact that this is all done with one dye? So I did not have to die cut 1,000 little pieces. I am
Right?
definitely a fan of that.
So much. Way more than I expected to be because I was thinking, well, you can already do this with cardstock. I was a little like, well, how much is it going to be? And then I started using them. I was like, oh, never mind. Nope.
So much
I
easier.
love it.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Okay. This is actually
right.
coming together faster than I expected on this one too. I think I was a little
Same.
slower the very first time just because I was
Oh.
figuring out what I was doing, but
Yeah, I think these came together a little quicker than I expected to, actually. But I'm glad we did. I did do some pre-work because they are still taking a little bit of time in terms of our hour here. So
yeah, sure.
some glue on this little part here. Let's see, kind of like that.
Okay. Oh yeah, it is actually, it's been way longer than I thought. Time has just been flying because it was so much fun.
I
I'm
know, right?
like,
Okay,
wait,
let's
how are
add.
we that far into our hour?
I know, right? It's
All
flown
right,
by because we're just there's
there's
something to be
mine.
said about like assembling something that's kind of fun.
Yeah, so check it out. There's mine all assembled together way faster than
Oh,
I expected.
that's really pretty. And I'm going to put all of mine
Oh,
on this piece of
pretty.
white paper here
Okay, and I
so you
do
can
have glue
see
on
it
my desk,
all.
so I'm gonna clean that real quick.
And there are all of my little flowers all assembled and ready to go. And I think they turned out, ouch, so fun. I just poked myself with my glue tip
And
pen,
I
my
do
glue
love
pen.
the two colors, like the pastel soft like you have, and the really bold that I went with. It's so fun, the
Yes,
contrast.
absolutely. Right. All right.
And you
So
both
let's
have
see
some
here.
stuff pre-done, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I actually think I have, other than a sentiment, I think I have everything else pretty much pre-done.
Yep.
Just because I wasn't really sure how long it would take to assemble these. So
I'm gonna
I'm going to take
quickly
a quick drink
show,
of water.
yep, and I'll explain my extras that I'm using here. I already die cut the floral lace die as a background. And then I have one of the stitch scallop rectangles. I thought about cutting it a different color, but I actually kind of like just the white on white. And then just a simple ivory card base. I love white on ivory. And with all those bold colors, I kind of wanted to go a little more neutral for the background because I thought that might be kind of a fun way to let those really just shine. And already I'm seeing it on here and going, oh, and I love that texture on the background. So it's going to be really easy.
All right.
This is going
And
to be
so for
really easy.
me, I grabbed a background. This is our floral backdrop cover plate die that I thought would be a lovely addition behind these flowers. And then I had pre-foiled a couple nested items. I have the diamond shape and I have an arch. I think I'm leaning towards the diamond shape. And then I'm going to kind of tuck my flowers in here and cluster around them. So I really do think I am leaning towards the diamond. So I think that we'll just go with that. I didn't grab those out, but just for reference, that's what that product is. And so this is going to be kind of the base of my card. And then we will add flowers around it and add a sentiment and we'll be good to go.
Yep. And our
I,
sentiments, we're both picking from the new set. I don't know if we've fully confirmed which one we're both using, but I had to
yeah,
wait
I
and
think
see how it's going
I'm
to fit when we got
still
there.
kind of figuring that one out. I am trying to figure out my card base color as well. I think I'm gonna just stick with white. Yeah.
You've got enough going
Yeah, the
on there
purple's
that,
too much. I've got so much going on. I think I'm just gonna stick with white.
um,
Go ahead
Connie
and
asked if it
create
was
my
glitter
card base.
cardstock that I'm using. That's just a cream colored cardstock and then white cardstock. So I thought about this one. I'm kind of debating on, I want to see how it looks in the white glitter. So I think I'm going to cut this frame real quick with the white glitter just for fun. Taking a few extra minutes, but we can afford that, right?
We're good. All right. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you like the diamond. I think it will be fun for just kind of embellishing the areas with the flowers. I think that's going to be really pretty. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and just glue the floral, what is this one called? Floral backdrop. This is one of our cover plates that doesn't have the cut line around the edges, so you can kind of use it however you see fit in terms of like length. But I went ahead and I did cut it down with our largest stitched rectangle die so that it would mount within an A2 card base there. And I'm just going to use some liquid glue to glue this right down to my card base. I'm going to pop other things up with dimensions, so I figure we are safe to glue this one down just flat.
Connie real quick is asking about essentials in the release. There, I know we not technically an essential, but there is a really cool alpha die. If you check our Instagram feed, that'll give you a little peek at that, which is beautifully sized for, I feel like for card making, it's a great size. And then Elise was asking about saying she wished there would be a class or two for foiling during Create and Connect card making events. We were just talking again this morning about trying to get that separate hot foiling event that we keep trying to get on the calendar. So stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Because not everybody hot foils, so we don't like to include that in events because not everybody.
Yeah, not everyone has a system, and
yeah. Okay. Let's see. I do think, you know what, that little bit of glitter cardstock, I think is just going to be a fun. It's a small little thing, but it does add a little glitz and glam to that. So I think, do I even need to? I don't think I even need to adhere together because that glitter cardstock's pretty stable and sturdy. So
I have misplaced my thin foam strips. Oh, there they are.
I wish I could hand them to you over the computer because I just had mine. So
I found them. Just took me a second.
if it was one of those times we were crafting together, we would have been.
I know, right?
Julie, you know what? I actually had an arch out that I pondered using for these. So that's funny that you mentioned that because it was even in my brain as a possibility.
I had the arch out, but I found I think I like the diamond better with this one. I also think I have the diamond foiled in a light blue, and I liked it better. I think my arch was like rose gold or something.
Yeah.
And so I was feeling the light blue a little bit more.
Well, what I had, let me pull it out and just show, I just had like a negative arch cut out that I was thinking it could have looked really pretty, which to be fully honest, it does look really gorgeous just like that. Let me try something here before I pull this off. I'm like, I wonder if I could do both. Okay, I'm gonna think about that because I might tuck the arch on there after all anyway, because I think I could fit that little frame around there and still get that fun peekaboo arch and I don't know. I feel like that does get a little bit busy. Well, but does it? I don't know. I'm just gonna keep putting foam adhesive on this and then decide. So many decisions.
What is the farm? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the Evo is asking, what is the farm die called? And I'm not completely sure.
Is it Farm Fresh? Oh no.
If that's what she's asking. If we're not using that today, but I'm not completely sure what you mean on that one. Yeah. Okay.
I think it must be back enough that I didn't see the question. So
all right. So I've got the base of my card ready to go. And we are going to do some clustering with these beautiful flowers. I'm probably going to have to do some trimming here and there.
Now the big question.
Now that they are put together and a little bit more sturdy, I can also do some fluffing to give them some dimension. I think these are going to be so pretty.
I think I'm going to leave the arch off. I feel like that's just complicating things. So we're going to just stick simple. I had to make that decision there.
Decisions.
We think out loud a lot, Cheryl.
We do.
Both while especially when we're doing it together. Because, oh, I just peeked up at yours. I've been so focused on my foam strips. That's so pretty, Leah.
Thanks.
Love that. It's perfect. that popped on there.
I think I'm trying to leave room for sentiment here.
Oh yeah, I still have to pull out my sentiment. I'm glad you said that.
So I am going to do a little floral surgery on this one. So it's everybody's favorite part when Leah hacks into her flowers, but I
They're
think it's
learning
going to make
to
this,
not be prepared. I think we're starting
yeah,
to wave them
finish this
over.
off a little bit because I just want the greenery. And I think I'll save these two other flowers for a different day. So we're going to snip this little greenery off and this little greenery off. So don't be afraid to cut these apart either, friends. It's just paper. You can always recreate it if it ends up not working out exactly how you expected. And with how easy these are to put together with the stenciling and the die cutting all in one piece, look at that. I am just thrilled with how this is turning out, this little bit of clustering here. So pretty. All right. I'm going to glue these down because if they're glued down, then I know for sure I have room for, or I can tell where I put the sentiments.
That's a good idea. All right, I'm
All
getting.
right, I'm going to start here. And so typically what I do when I do cards like this, I will, oh, hi, little dog. Well, the dog barking out my window. I'll put like a little bit of glue to start with, get everything placed down, let it set, and then I'll come in and I'll do a little bit of reinforcing gluing. But I kind of let things set up first so I have a little bit of wiggle room and a little bit of time to make sure I like its placement. So if you see, I'm just adding like the tiniest little bit of glue. I'll come in a little bit later and add more glue to reinforce it into place.
There. Get all the foam adhesive for the parts that I need on parts of it, and then some of it's going to just be liquid glue. So
You're going to kind of hang off the side here. Okay.
all right, I think that's going to do it. Okay. And then
Elise just said, I usually have commitment issues, but just in watching you, I'm prone to arrange and glue. That's so cute.
all right, I'm going to play with my sentiment here because I think I'm going to use one from the same set as you, maybe.
Okay.
So this is your extra little bonus sneak peek, you guys. I'm not going to go into great detail on it, but I don't know. I'm going to try another one. So you guys are going to get to see two while I pick which sentiment fits on there the best. You know what? I think I actually like that one. Okay. So this new set is called Sending Love. And I'm going to use the sentiment on there with the coordinating die. I kind of like that on there. And then I might have to grab one of those little secondary stickers like what Leo is using too. So let me grab those.
Oh, I haven't even showed that yet.
Oh, I thought you pulled that out, but maybe because you showed me in advance. So I was thinking about it.
Yeah, I did. I showed you beforehand.
So much love.
All right.
I
I am pretty happy with that arrangement there. Oh, I think that's so fun. Okay.
All right. I still have to adhere mine down, so maybe I'll do that, and then I can work on getting that sentiment stamped. That would be wise, because I'm going to add plenty of glue here to stick on my glitter paper as well.
I'm just trying to get some of my glue to set up so that my arrangement doesn't keep moving.
We're probably going to
keep
go
moving
slightly
on
over
me.
because we still have to add bling on here, I think, at some point.
Yeah.
But that's okay. We had a lot to do today. So we really did need our pre-done stuff that we did.
Absolutely.
Maybe we did too much in advance, but we really did not.
All right, so Heather showed you guys I'm going to use this sentiment to a wonderful friend from another one of our stamp sets from the release. It's called Wildflower Bouquet. And then I think I'm going to pair it with one of these sentiment stickers that we're coming out with. So there's 2 sheets of stickers. The sentiments are the same on each side. There's just the one that are on colored, they're colored stickers, and then the other one is gold foiling on white. So I'm going to pull one of those as well. But I think I'm going to stamp the sentiment real quick. And I think I'm going to stamp it in Storm colored ink to match some of the ink blending. Right, just gotta find a piece of scrap cardstock real quick.
I can use a small six. That is too big. We don't need that much.
Should work.
I'm doing a little skinny sentiment, so save those bigger pieces for bigger things.
You know what? I think I do have a teenier piece I can use for this guy. I think it'll fit on here. Yeah.
Same thought as me. Don't waste those big pieces, right?
Exactly. I was like, I don't need to use that big chunk of things. I can use that for something else.
Right?
There we go. Perfect.
And then these little delicate sentiments, so stamp them really gently. Always tell people to do that.
Yeah, so these are pretty intricate sentiments. So I think Heather and I basically do the same thing. We just kind of barely tap our platform. And if you need to stamp again, you can. But at least you aren't smushing it too hard and making and basically losing that daintiness. And that is perfect, just like that.
Nice.
All right, I'll wipe this off real quick.
Die.
Alrighty.
Die right on the first try.
Right. All right, and I'm pretty certain, yeah, this does have a die. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab that.
Both die cutting. We're getting close. We're gonna be close.
Yeah, we might be a couple minutes over, but that's okay.
I know we could add bling later, but I really feel like I want to add it, at least on those little bitty flowers.
Same here, I'm in the same boat. I think that the bling will even add more to those beautiful flowers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feels like we should do it.
All right. So we're trying to run this through. So glad you guys are loving these new products. I think they're going to be super fun. Just think of all the color combos you now have at your fingertips, considering if you carry our inks or even if you have another company's inks, by being able to ink blend, you've got so many colors available to you for creating these lovely flowers from.
I'm gonna cut some extra layers because I realized I need that for mine. I'm just gonna.
This is a pretty intricate. This is a pretty dainty die, so it's going to be easier just to do some stacking here.
Yep, sometimes that's just the best one.
Right. And maybe just one more. We'll call it good.
I think 2 layers, right?
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of just take my money. Kind of cut a little bit of that one off. That's okay. I'll just put it as the bottom layer. It'll be fine. It must have either I did not pay attention to where I was placing it, or it might have slipped.
A little cut off the edge.
Yeah. It'll be okay.
It will be fine. Nobody will ever know.
No one will ever know. I'll put it on the very bottom. No one will know.
Kinnery, since you're here, do you want to pick our winner so that if anyone needs to leave, they don't miss the $100 gift card winner? And we'll both try and kind of watch as we finish our, but since we're going a tiny bit over, that way we don't.
Yeah. That might be good.
Up.
Right. Our little
Those die cut pieces.
here. All right. Yeah, she's going to pick a winner. Okay. I will need this again in a second, but I'm going to close it up for now while I pick out my sentiment sticker that I'm going to add. So it says, to a wonderful friend. You are amazing. That one's kind of fun.
Let's see if we both pick different ones or not.
Apparently, I really like You Are Amazing because I've already used it on the colored version. Also could do You Are Enough. You are
Debating on that.
strong.
But I think because I don't have foiling and stuff on mine, I might, if the colored one works. Actually, the
It's
You
still
Are Amazing.
foiled. The sentiment is still gold foiled on the
Oh,
colored
you're
one.
right, it is. Yep, you're right. I was sitting there looking at it and it's super obvious, but
All right, congratulations to
oh,
Lisa Swiderski. I could have butchered that. I apologize if I do. You are the $100 gift card code winner. So Kinnary gave you the instructions on how to claim your prize. You just need to send an email to me. My email is leah@pinkfreshstudio.com. There's no H on the end of my name, so it's just LEA@pinkfreshstudio.com. And give me a couple of days to get that back to you. But as long as you email me in enough time, I will do my best to get it to you before the release goes.
I'm gonna have to do that because I kind of like that. You know what? I like the colored on mine with all my bold I need. I'm gonna use that Big Hugs because that goes with that candy violet. That just works.
Nice.
All right.
I think I'm gonna kind of do like that. All right, I'm gonna put this on here first, but I want to pop it up with a little bit of foam tape here.
I'm gonna put.
Okay. I think I just need foam on the left side of it. Like that. And then do I need any over here? Maybe just one of these tiny little guys on this side.
I want to pop this up with foam, so I'm adding just a little strip of white cardstock on the back so that it takes off the sticky, and then I can make it easier to put the foam on. I think anyway. We'll see if that's actually true. It feels like it would be easier.
All righty. Let's get that guy lined up here. And then this guy, I'm gonna just add, kind of tuck it a little bit into the, oh, this is gonna be really cute. So I'm just gonna add glue at the very bottom of the sentiment so that it sticks just to the tippy top of the sticker sentiment.
I wasn't gonna on this because I cut the extra layers, but I do want foam up on these. So we're just gonna carefully hide some little bits of, it'll just set up a little more stable without having to put the extra layers. So I think that'll work.
And
Yeah, that
right
just
there.
needed a pop. Hey, look at you.
All right, gotta add some jewels.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Audrey. That's really kind of you. I also love sharing our time with you guys as well. So it's always a win-win situation.
And as we're sitting here doing this, since we're just like working on bling and stuff, this would be a good time to mention. We have registration open for our next, if you enjoyed these with us and you want to actually craft along on a Zoom, we have a monthly, we call it Craft Along. And that registration is open. And if you want to grab the bundle to have the same product and do it along with us, that is open and up and ready to do. We always have so much fun doing that.
Absolutely. So we do one Friday evening a month, called Craft Along. In February, it's on the 16th, and registration's open for that. So we would love to have you if you guys wanted to hang out with us on Friday, February 16th. And then also, while we're chatting, if you guys like our Create and Connect events, our scrapbooking event is also up for registration. So if you're a scrapbooker or you wanted to try out scrapbooking or you wanted to find ways to adapt the products they're using to cards, they're always also a fun event. So the scrapbooking event's in March, and its registration is also open. So lots of things to register, lots of fun events to register for right now.
All right, I gotta pick. I'm kind of feeling, you know what? I'm just gonna make the call and not spend too long thinking about it. I'm gonna go for a dip.
I'm using the Twilight glitter drops, and the reason why I'm doing this is when you can, with a lot of our embellishments, you can shake the little triangle tray and they'll flip over the right way, but for the glitter drops, just they don't work. So I am just getting some flipped over so I can see the colors. And so I can pick out the right ones for my card.
That's a good idea. I like that choice. All right.
Let's see. What do I want to add here? Exciting. February. We've got a friend who February is her birthday month. So that's exciting. So we can do a little trio here. And then I think I'm going to add just a couple into this little flower centers.
Same.
These little guys are hard to flip over.
All
And it still didn't
right.
flip over. There we go.
Okay. And I just got to adhere those down.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there, friends. We're gonna go a little bit over, but we've already posted. We've already
done that.
given the winner. So
Yep.
good thing we had all that stuff pre-done. My goodness, could you imagine?
Oh man. Like I definitely didn't have to go as slow as I chose to go at the beginning, but you know what? That's okay. We're still
Well,
finishing like
you
at the
would have
same
like
time.
lapped me if you had it.
What's funny is I didn't even feel like I was going super slow. Like I was kind of going slow, but I wasn't like
Yeah.
dragging my feet or anything. So I
Hmm.
think you using the bigger brushes probably made the difference there.
Probably helped a little bit. Yeah. That and one more little guy. Right. We're gonna call that good. I think I'm gonna call that good.
I've got like 3 more to stick down and then I'll be caught up to you.
Oh, I haven't even glued them down yet.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, phew. Okay. I was
No.
sweating hairs. I'm like,
I was still placing jewels. And
oh, okay. Well, then I guess I did beat you only because I was rushing because I thought I was behind. So,
no, not at all.
Amy is asking about the, since I'm done now, I can answer that. Create and craft, do you see the others?
Okay,
No,
that one.
if you have the choice of whether you want to put your camera on or not, we love
Yes.
seeing your faces. And at the chat at the beginning, a lot of people will put it on and kind of chat or ask us questions. And then they turn it off when they're crafting. But we
Yeah.
love watching the people that leave it on, like as they're focusing and crafting, because we take turns
It's pretty
teaching.
cute.
Yeah, so we can sit and be creepers and stalk all the people.
At the end, it is really fun if you turn your camera on and show your card, but that's completely optional. You don't have to. It's not like required to have a camera on by any means.
Yeah. And yes, for Kinnery, it's basically like in the wee hours of the morning.
The middle of the night.
Yeah. Oh, I love how fun.
Right.
No.
Oopsies. Well, there you have it. Our 2 cards. Very different color palettes, but they turned out super fun.
So cute.
Love it.
Love it, love
They're
it.
so fun. And these will be cute in the photos.
Yes, they will. All the extras, I used all mine. I have no leftovers, but mine were a little more designed to be that way.
Absolutely. All right,
All right,
let's flip the cameras around and let's land this airplane.
This will be a quick
Almost
goodbye
10
now
minutes
because we've
afterwards.
already taken lots of your time. So look at the
Well,
crafter
thanks so
math
much
on
for
Lea's desk.
joining us. Congratulations to Lisa.
I'm looking at the crafter math on Lea's desk there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's a lot.
Mine's all out of view, but
Ooh,
I don't know.
it'll be clean here momentarily.
Let me see if I can, I don't know if I can get my camera enough. There's just a little peek at mine. As I make you guys all seasick and I move my camera around.
So I think this is only live this week, right?
Yes.
Okay. So only live
Yep.
this week. All of the products that Heather and I feature today will go live in our online shop on Friday at 7 a.m. Central. So not too
And
long
there'll
to
be a
wait.
blog hop and everything, of course. So check all that out.
Saturday will be an Instagram hop, so there's a ton of festivities surrounding our releases. There's a lot of chances to win prizes. You definitely will want to check all of that out, and you can find all of that information. It's written in our blog post on Friday and in our Instagram post on Saturday.
And really quickly, whoever said it was snowy out my window, that's not snow. It's a white fence, the neighbor's white fence. There's no snow. It is raining. It's typical Washington weather. So I would love snow. We had some snow a week ago, so I'm looking forward to that.
Our
We get
snow is
more.
all melting, and I'm in Minnesota, so yeah,
The weird year. It's just
so
weird.
weird. All right, friends.
All right.
Taking enough of your time. We're 10 minutes over. Have a great rest of your day and your week. And we can't wait to hear on Friday what your favorites are from this release.
Absolutely.
So be sure to leave us comments in all the different areas for your chance to win.
All right. Bye, everybody. We'll see you
Bye,
soon.
guys.